Okay, good morning. Hello, friends. Welcome to day 3 of speech therapy via YouTube and via homeschooling. Mr. Loki Lou and I are here today to do a lesson on following directions. So, also, I'm just going to point out, just going to be real here. You see this sweatshirt on multiple times, it's because it's my lounging around the house sweatshirt. So, don't think I'm wearing the same clothes 5 days in a row. I mean, I kind of am, but it's clean. Don't worry. It's clean. So, anyways, so following directions is a goal we work on in speech because children are given directions all day long in school, and in order for children to be fully successful, they need to be able to follow said directions that are given to them. And these directions can be verbal, they can be written, they can be in a picture sometimes, depending on the child. So there's all different modes that we receive directions from. Directions can also be gestural, pointing. So a child's ability to follow these directions and understand them is very, very important. So I'll wipe under my eyes in case I got any more mascara under there. Shouldn't, but something about staying at home makes your underneath of your eyes even more dark. So, when you're giving a verbal directive and a child doesn't understand what they're saying, it's the most simple way of making it more simple for them is to just break it down. So, for example, meow like a cat, touch your nose. So, I have my little following directions cards here. These are actually St. Patrick's Day themed. These are probably what I would have used this week had we been in school. But obviously that's not the case. So thankfully I can use them here because they are still somewhat relevant. Meow like a cat, touch your nose. If a student just does the meow like a cat or just touches their nose, that's when we go back and we break it down. So we'll do meow like a cat, touch your nose in 2 separate commands. And then you will do it with them. So, meow like a cat. You won't do it. Touch your nose. And then do it with them with the 2 directions together. Meow like a cat. Meow. Touch your nose. And so that, did you see him looking over here? But anyways, that's how we break it down. So, I'm going to go through a couple of these following directions, activities. I want your child to try and follow it along. Some of them I'm just going to zip through it. So you may have to pause the video if the child doesn't understand it. Some of them I will break down with them. Just for time's sake, I'm not going to break every single one down. But I am going to use only 2-step directives because most of my students, most students right now, we're focusing on trying to either get from 1-step to 2-step or to consistently follow 2-step directions or 3-step directions. And I do have 3-step directive cards, so I will get to those as well. So just bear with me, and here we go. Lesson 3. Close your eyes and cover your mouth. So we're going to close our eyes, cover our mouth. Pat your head, stick out your tongue. Count to 6, scratch your arm. Some of these are like academically related, and I don't know. We obviously all don't have desks at home, so I'm not going to incorporate those. Raise your arms, wiggle your fingers. So raise your arms. Wiggle your fingers. Point to your nose. Say my name. Close your eyes. Name a classmate. Pretend to whistle. Close your eyes. Sit on the floor. Spell your name. Stand up, count to 3. So you want to stand up, Then count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Cross your arms, jump 1 time. This is a fun one. Walk to the trash can, snap your fingers. Look at the ceiling, bark like a dog. And say my name, and then say your favorite subject in school. So, if you don't remember my name, it's Miss Sowa. Just saying. Okay, so let's do 3-step directions. So, same way to modify. If you're gonna work on 3-step directives, break it down, and don't get frustrated when your child doesn't quite understand at first or after the 5th time. Everyone has their own way of learning, and sometimes repetition is needed. Sometimes, you might need to break it down and word it differently. Like I said, every child's different. Every child learns at a different pace. And when they're that elementary age and they're learning to follow directions, it's really important to break things down. So, I'm going to give a few of these 3 steps, and I'm going to sign off. Clap your hands over your head, open your mouth. Say your age, do 3 jumping jacks, and clap. So say your age, do 3 jumping jacks, and clap. That was a mouthful. That was kind of a tongue twister. Okay, stand up, close your eyes, and clap your hands. Tap the table or chair, spell your name, stand up. So tap the nearest table, tap the nearest chair, spell your name, and stand up. Rub your elbow, point to the door, jump 1 time. So make sure you're jumping 1 time. Make sure that you are pointing the door in between. Sometimes those middle directives are missed. So make sure we're going back and redoing it with the middle directive, that 2nd step. Spin around 2 times, put your hands on your hips, and smile. Okay. So I will post these in my Google Classroom, and I will leave the link for Teachers Pay Teachers on the YouTube page for you to use for these. These are made by somebody else, but I always give credit to them and their creativity for making resources that I could never make. But they will be available, and if you have a Teachers Pay Teachers account, it's free to set up, it's free to use. There's lots of free worksheets that you can use with your students while we're away from school, so that's always an option. So like I said, I'll leave the link for the download for anyone that wants to either print them out, download them on their phone so you can give the verbal directions and practice. I highly recommend practicing them. You can also do things around the house. I did post a worksheet on Google Classroom for my other students, and it just had different things that involve following directions. Another good area around the house for following directions is cooking. So if you have a simple meal or components of the meal that your child can help you with preparation, practicing following directions with that is also a really great way to use those skills. So I am going to sign off. I will probably be posting another video of just me reading a book today. Just, a little bit of relaxation, but also, something else for your child to do, because I know that reading multiple times a day to your children can also get a little, or become a little difficult. So, have a great day, stay sane, and see you tomorrow.